Hello, YouTube fans, here again. And even though we've got past Halloween now and Halloween is bye-bye, this one's inspired me. It's inspired me a lot. That being Night of the Living Dead. Now, for anyone who say, oh, you don't like the remake, oh, you don't like the original. No. I like them both. This one's going to be hard because when I've done Versus before, as you already know, I hate the remake of Total Recall. It's like a Total Rim Job. And I do love the one what Rambo for Life did. I did watch it a few weeks ago. Spot on, mate. You can't beat the original. I remember doing versions of Robotop. No comparison. The original's a classic and always will be, and the remake a piece of dog shit. And I've done versions on other ones, but this one's inspired me because I do like both of them. But if I've got to pick this to be my favourite, shock, horror, the remake. Never in a million years I thought I'd hear myself say this, but the remake outbeats the original. But before I get love letters, before I say you just fucking shooted a classic, I don't hate, I'll say it again, I don't hate the original classic 1968 Night of the Living Dead by George Romero. I don't hate it. I respect it. And when I did a review a couple of days ago now of Night of the Living Dead, the 1968 one, I even admitted that. I respect it. I respect what it bought. I respect that it was above its time. I respect that my dog's coughing. I respect that it was ultra-fine for its time. I respect that it was pretty bloody for its time. And when you think about it, it was a very ballsy film. I respect Night of the Living Dead, the 60s one. Without that, you wouldn't have got any of the other zombie movies, whether it be Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, one of my other favourites, Zombie Fest Eaters, fucking the remake of Night of the Living Dead. You wouldn't have even got any of that. Even the classic Michael Jackson's Thriller. I get the Thriller night. You wouldn't have even got that if it wasn't because of Night of the Living Dead and what it bought. But without ado, I'd have to say the remake outshines it in other ways. For one, the makeup. For 1968 and the budget they had when they did the 1968 one, they could not do that much makeup. I meant to say the 90s one before, but they did not do that much makeup, right? They couldn't do the makeup. Bear with me, because my dog's being a pain. Right? They couldn't do the makeup, and they had to make do with what they could do, right? When you get to the 90s one, and you see how much makeup, how much technology has changed, when you got to classics, they say like Day of the Dead, the dud one, there's a lot more they could do with makeup. You know what I mean? Technology has changed, makeup has changed, and the fact Don Safina did the effects and partly directed this one. Don Safina, the man who did just date special effects in Dawn of the Dead, date makeup effects in Day of the Dead, date makeup effects in one of my favourites being The Burning. He did the makeup on the Bill Topsy, the makeup, the burnt up face. That was Don Safina. So he's done that a lot, and in this, I dilute him. I just wish that the MPA left Don Safini's film alone, because people say, well, it's not bloody like the 60s one. That was the fucking MPA to thank for that. I remember once getting a Blu-ray version of the 90s Night of the Living Dead, and the picture to death looked like shit. It was dark, it looked like the fucking cameraman had a fucking Doldrum fucking shower on it. You name it, it looked like fucking dog shit. Even my dog wants to say something. It looked like shit, didn't it? So the end of the day, that's one for that. Now the 60s one, I do like it. I just said that, you had a lot of good characters, but in all fairness, my favourite character would have to be Ben. Right, Ben. He outshines every other actor in the 60s one, right? I just wish it didn't have a fucking downbeat ending. Now, Talented, the 90s Night of the Living Dead also had a downbeat ending. But the barber, the character I like, lifts. And that again is a big improvement from the 1968 one. The barber, right? Very similar opening, right? They go to the cemetery. I can't remember now whether it was the dad though that was visiting or the mum in that. But they go to visit the death of the mum or the dad, right? The only difference is, we all know we've seen the 60s Night of the Living Dead. The first one is this old fella, it's the zombie, kills the brother, right? Danny's in the 90s one, it was a lot more vicious. And that's something else I love about the 90s one. It outsmarts you. You think it's going to be this old guy, and it's not. It's some old guy with just a cut on his head. The zombie jumps out, which I mean, when I first saw it, made me fucking jump out of my skin. And the scene when the brother got killed had a lot more visceral. It was a lot more graphic. Remember that they used a puppet. But this is what I'm getting at. The barber character I thought in the 60s one was a fucking wimp. I can't lie. I cannot lie. She was a wimp. Okay, people can argue with me and say, yeah, but she's seen her brother get killed and she's seen quite a lot and there's a lot of bodies and zombies are chasing her. So fucking what? All the way through the film, right, there's nothing against the actress, nothing against the lady in real life. I'm sure she's probably a nice lady in real life. I'm on about the character. I am on about the fucking character. All she did was sit on her ass, look sorry for herself, wins, rind. Okay, she does something nearly at the end, and even then she dies. It wasn't a zombie, it wasn't a buffer what killed her, it was stupidity. Think about it, stupidity. She stands at the door. And she sees a brother. And she's not thinking, well, why are these fucking zombies not attacking me brother? I seen him get killed. Why is he stood next to the door, dorping at me like a fucking knob? So she gets dragged by zombies, and actually not going to solve that much for the 60s, even though it was too far for its time. So you got the idea the zombies have killed her and eaten her, right? So her death is stupidity. Where in the 90s one, that's the opposite. A brother is too fucking dead. Well, you do get the idea he's a zombie but got shot halfway through the film. She gets out of fucking Dodds. It's the day after. Ben's been turned into a zombie, which is slightly different than the 60s one. He gets shot up. The fucking arsehole in it, who was funny enough as an arsehole, the character in the 60s one. She shoots the fucker in the head, and I love that line. I love that iconic line where she says, "There's another one for the campfire." It pauses, it freezes. I love the lines, what she says. We're them, they're us. When she sees what these bikers and these fucking country folks are doing to the zombies. And I love the characters. Barbara character kicks the shit from the 60s one. She kicks the shit because you think at first she's going to be a wimp like the 60s one. And she doesn't. She gets her dress off, don't get side up, not in a dirty way. She puts a pair of jeans on and she goes to fucking town. She shoots zombies. She tells people stop being fucking wimps. She doesn't fuck about. There's a bit where she's hesitating because she sees a zombie woman with a baby Joe, and she just says fuck it and shoots the fucker in the head. I love the Barbara one. I never wanted Barbara to get killed in the 90s one. The 60s one, I never did the flying fuck because I found her fucking annoying. None against the actors, nothing against the person. It's like I said, she's probably a nice person in real life. I mean the character. And I can definitely see why George Romero has altered that. When you got to Dawn of the Dead, you had a strong woman. When you had Day of the Dead, you had a strong woman. I can see why after the 60s version of Barbara. And I do like the Ben character in the 60s one. Okay, there's a bit where he hits Barbara. I don't deal with men hitting women. But I do like the Ben character. Out of all the actors, he signs. He's the best one out of all the actors in the 60s one. The 60s one, why not? Love doing it. Pieces of fucking wood. Can't lie, pieces of wood. I don't give a shit with the lift. Died, got shot, got eaten up, the lot. And I always find the 60s one a bit slow in parts. There's bits where it feels like it's dragging. 90s one, never got bored of it. It was fast paced. I just wish they used the same scene where the daughter kills the mum. You know, with the shuffle. I do felt that was a little bit better, the 60s one where she stabs the mum with a shuffle. Probably they looked at that and thought, well, how do zombies do that? So they altered it where the fucking daughter bites a chunk off the fucking mum's neck. I do know in real life that when they was doing that, they were going to do a scene where the mother was going to get the shuffle, was going to stab the daughter, but she hesitated. But because of time and that, they're going to do that. But there's usually a love letter with blood stirring on a shuffle. But in the 60s one, I do prefer that where the daughter stabs the mum with a shuffle. I thought that was more traffic. Same as the zombies eating the dead bodies. I do prefer the Durr in the 68 one, you know, the one with the boyfriend. I just felt she was more Barbara in the 60s one. I like that she was strong, she was brave, she stuck up for herself. The 90s one, I thought she was annoying. I thought she was a fucking wimp. You killed Mr. Midoo! He was just a fuck, get over it. But the fucking that's some things on it. I do like the Ben character also in the 90s one, played with one by Sweeney Todd, which I do believe when they was doing the audition, he read the lines, went out, memorised them all, come back, tears, emotion, and it's so amazing that he looks exactly like the actor from the 68 one. May he rest in peace, says he's no longer with us. I'm on about the one in the 60s one, by the way. Sweeney Todd, we all know, who played Candyman. Damn good actor. I do admit, I like both of them. It kind of pissed me off that he dies in it at the end, but he turns into a zombie. It's slightly different in the 68 one. You've seen the 68 one. You get the idea that he's walking the toss. He's not a zombie. He looks out the window. He gets misstated that he is a zombie. Some dickhead shoots him in the head. Brown bread. Where in the 90s one, he is a zombie and he gets shot. That's I thought was a bit shitty, but I am happy that the Barbara character lived. I do admit they made a big improvement on the Barbara one. They made a big improvement on the zombies, but I don't hate the 60s one. There's little bits in there where it has faults. I didn't like the fact they killed Ben's character off. I felt that the Barbara character was fucking annoying. I can disrespect on the zombies. It was a different era, different time. And for the budget, you couldn't see as much gore and maggots coming out the eyeballs and all that, like you see in the later zombie films. But I can respect it for what it was. I respect Night of the Living Dead. I don't love it like I don't love Psycho. If I want to think of my favourite Alfred Hitchcock films, it would have to be The Birds or My Name with Sean Connery. But I do respect Psycho. I respect for what it brought, same as I respect Night of the Living Dead. I respect it, the 68 one. I don't love it. I don't look at it as a tacit. I don't fucking jerk off over it like some other people do. But I respect it. But the 90s one is my favourite one. I think Don Savini made a masterpiece. Normally I fucking hate remakes. But on this occasion, I like Night of the Living Dead, the 90s one. No faults in it. But for both, I'm not going to say I hate one. I'm not going to say I hate the other. I respect Night of the Living Dead, the 1968 one. But if it comes to one, I love the fucking remake. For once, shock, horror. I'm admitting here, man to man, I'm admitting that I prefer the remake. I actually, for once, like this remake. Normally, I fucking hate remakes. I do know over the years they made other remakes on Night of the Living Dead, but if I want to choose one what I think was the best one, where it was more faithful and they even made more money doing this, what made the fucking original, I would have to go for the 90s Night of the Living Dead. I don't hate the fucking original without repeating myself, but I respect for what it brought. Without it, you wouldn't have had the remake, you wouldn't have had Dawn of the Dead, sort of fucking repeat, just go back to what I just said. I respect it, but I do prefer the remake. I think the remake, they've improved a lot of things. They improved a little bit here, they've improved a little bit there. There's little bits where the 60s one was a little bit better, but they improved the zombies, they improved Barbara's character. They sort of allowed the huge good choice with Ben, which amazingly looks so much like the one in the 60s one. Other than that, what else can I say? Both similar films. One's in black and white. I remember watching the black and white one and they tried to colorise it. I'm sorry, but I prefer it in black and white when it comes to the 1968 one. Other than that, though, that's that. I'll probably do more movies and more things on the way. But into them, be smart, be safe. Hope you all had a good Halloween. Into them, see you later.